All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome officially to your session where I get to fill your cup up because you're filling up everyone else's cup. So this is like going to the spa mixed with going to the hair salon mixed with so many other things like your favorite restaurant, like all the good wealthy energy is now in this force field and it's ready for you to receive it. I don't feel like it's an accident that you are here. Raise your hand if it was not easy for you to get your butt here. Like, be honest. Was it easy? Raise your hand if it was not easy. I want to see the screen. Let me go to the whole gallery here. Like, so I have like a hand in the air. So the one of the most important things to remember is our big goals and dreams are not always going to be convenient. They're not always going to be convenient. I am running on very low sleep. There is a plumber downstairs. My husband is here with the plumber. I have a German Shepherd barking in the room next door. I'm hoping and praying that you can't hear her that loud. I have like locked myself in the office. I have cleansed my energy so I can be my best for you. But I want to model for you that it's not always going to be easy. But I made a commitment to you to be here. And my character is I'm going to do everything in my power to be my word as much as I possibly can. And sometimes there's some things that we have to move out of the way to get to where we want to go. So that's not going to change. And I do believe when you start shaking up the energy, right? Like maybe you were a lot of blah energy even 18 days ago, and now you've shooken up the energy, right? Like I feel it too, just even being a facilitator with you. Like I am different than I was 19 days ago. I am different. Drop a yes in the chat if you're on the same page. Like I am a different human. This is how fast this work happens. And it's not an end all be all. It will just keep going. It will just keep what I call wealthy leaping, like quantum leaping. It will wealthy leap more and more and more the more you do it. And so when we shake up that energy, sometimes you get more curveballs. Is anyone experiencing that? Like, have you had technology breakdowns, car breakdowns, maybe conflicts with your significant other getting sick, right? So this is what's called upper limiting. Has anyone heard of upper limiting before? So upper limiting is really big in the mindset energy space where you have operated in a certain energy for a certain period of time. You've been in an identity for a certain period of time. And now you have shooken up the energy that your nervous system and the outside world is like, what is happening? What is happening? What is going on? So this is why you have internal and external curveballs that happen because everyone's trying to figure out what is going on. Logically, it's so good though. And when we can persevere and get through these hiccups, right? Get through these barriers, they don't last forever. Like one of my favorite things to say to myself is, you know, when you get the hiccups and they're like really annoying, they don't last forever though, right? Like you could have the hiccups and within the hour they'll go away. Is it so annoying during that time? Like, have you ever tried to, like, I've done a training and I have the hiccups and I'm like, this is the worst time to have the hiccups. And so they don't last forever. The biggest rainstorm doesn't last forever. And so we get to continue to build up our mental strength so that we can persevere through those hiccups, through those obstacles. We equally get to be proactive in regards to there are a lot of obstacles and hiccups and hurdles that can be prevented when we are in proactive energy. And wealth loves proactive energy. Can we plan and prepare for everything? No, I wish we could. But there are so many things that we can plan, and prepare for, big and small. And so the more we can do that, the better. And so this experience is going to help continue the work that you've done, the transformation process. You become a millionaire in your mind before anywhere else. And that word may freak you out. It can be your wealthiest self. It's getting everything that you desire. It's utilizing and leveraging money as a tool and a resource to create what you desire. And one of my friends says this all the time. She says, money amplifies who you already are. So if you love to give, you're going to be able to give more. If you love to invest in yourself, you're going to be able to do that more. If you love to save for the future, you're going to be able to save for the future more, right? Like money amplifies who you already are. And so more of it means you get to bless more people, including yourself. And the biggest hurdle is you. You are the biggest thing blocking you from everything that you desire. We tend to make other people the villain. We tend to point the fingers. And step number one of this process is you've got to take full ownership for this to work. You've got to take 100% extreme, radical ownership of your life, of you, of your decisions, of your actions. Because if not, you're not in control. And so it makes it really challenging to create the life that you desire if you're not in the driver's seat. So step number one of this process today is, are you in the driver's seat? Are you in the driver's seat? And it has to be a hell fucking yes. It can't be like, well, I'm kind of in the driver's seat, but I'm kind of not. Like it needs to be like I'm in the driver's seat. My seatbelt is on. My hands are at 10 and 2. Tell me like what's next, right? Like it has to be that focused, that determined that you're like, I am in the driver's seat. I own every aspect of me and my desires and where I'm going. If it's to be, it's up to me. I can't want this more than you want this. Trust me, I have been that mentor in the past and it is draining. It is draining. I can't want this more than you want this. If my energy is up here, you've got to exceed it for yourself, right? Like beat me. Please bring it on. Beat my energy for you, okay? Beat my energy for you. I love to serve and support and help people, but that doesn't mean that I do the work for you. That doesn't mean that I want it more than you. Beat me. I want to be in the passenger seat. And what's so powerful about this is you actually get to meet your most powerful self. I'm already powerful. I've already met my most powerful self. I want you to meet your most powerful self. I'm not that I'm done, but I've already been in the car as the driver with other people. Now I'm going back. Sarah's going back. We're going back because it's the right thing to do. Okay. This is very serious. Okay. And this process is not like you watch the trainings when you have time. Like I am raising my standards. If you're going to go through this process with me, you're going through it. And if not, totally cool. Bless and release. So you're already here and that's huge. Like truly, like that's huge. Whether you're watching the live or the replay, there are strict boundaries around this process, around this container, because this is a big fucking gift to be in my energy. I have so much experience that can bless your life. But if you're not willing to do the work, if you're not willing to try, it can't even bless your life. You're blocking yourself from the blessings. And so we're weeding out that energy in real time. Like if you can't continue to be in the car, then you can't stay in the car. Like, and it's not to be mean, it's to wake you up. Like, right? Because you can't be asleep at the wheel. Literally, that's how people get hurt. So this is your wake up call. This is time that you step up your standards for yourself, because you deserve to meet your wealthiest self. And my goal is to create an environment that makes it easier and more fun for you to do so. That felt really good. Felt really good. We're just going to take a moment for that. I am sick and tired of seeing people's potential go to waste. I'm done. I don't want to be an energy around people that are going to be like, well, I'm on my blah ladder, but I want to be on my wealthy ladder, but I'm not willing to do the work. I'm not there. I'm not the mentor for you. I'm just not. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have your shit together to be here. But what I do expect is you to raise your own standards for yourself and step up and step up. You can have your moment on the blah ladder and then you move off and you choose to move off. I'm not going to drag your ass off of the blah ladder. You get to say, here's my moment, and now this is what I'm doing about it. This is how you meet your wealthiest self, is you decide that it's time. You decide that you'll figure it out. You say yes, and then you say yes again, and then you say yes again, and you're not worried about the how. The how will take care of itself. It always does. When you really think about your whole life, you've had miracles that don't make sense. Can you imagine if you got hung up in the how? The miracle would have not even been able to happen. Like, think about maybe meeting your significant other, or maybe you got this huge job opportunity. You're like, where did that come from? That was like the biggest blessings in our lives. Typically, we didn't know that they were happening. We didn't have the plan. We didn't know how it was going to happen, but yet they're the biggest blessings of our lives. Imagine 365 days of that energy. You can manufacture this. You don't have to sit around and wait for it to happen. You can manufacture this type of energy that radically changes everything for you. So what is your belief percentage at today? What is your belief percentage at today? Because it's time to get it cranked the fuck up. What is your belief percentage at today? Meaning that you believe you can make this happen. Your biggest, grandest, wealthiest life, millions of dollars, whatever it is for you. Okay. 100%. Okay. 44%. And now it's at a 95%. What? 5%? Shut the front door. Shut the front door. Holy smokes. Okay. Well, now I'm determined to help get you to that 5%. Okay. Woo. None of this is planned of what I'm talking about, by the way. So this is just the Holy Spirit coming in here. All right, 50-50, 80%, 85. Now you're feeling 89. So good. 87, 78. Okay, huge. What is everyone's biggest boulder in their way right now? Tell me in the chat. What do you feel like with your current operating system, your current energy? What is that big boulder in your way? And get specific, okay? Health and weight, good, okay? Time, not enough hours in the day. Myself, can we dig deeper in the me, the myself? Like, can you pinpoint it if you can? Regulating to hold the 95% belief, okay? Selling my offer to everyone, okay? Can you tell me in the chat what your offer is and how many you need or want to sell? I just have excuses because of fear of rejection. Okay. Drop, like, the more context I have, the deeper I can support you and the faster we can get through things. So tell me some of the fears that you have. Time, tell me more. Nothing to generate wealth with, yet working on it. Okay. What do you mean by nothing? Tell me in the chat. Okay. So as people are giving me more context, here's the most beautiful part. You have the time, you have the energy, you have the resources, you have the audience, you have the knowledge. Do we want more? Of course we want more. We're women, right? Of course we want more, and there's nothing wrong with wanting more. However, we get to get out of lack energy of it's not enough. So it's okay to want more, but the current what we currently have, we cannot be in lack with it. We get to be in love with it. We get to be in love with the body that we have right now. We get to be in love with the time that we have right now. We get to be in love with the audience that we have right now. We get to, like, wherever we're at right now, internally and externally, instead of being in lack, instead of being on your blah ladder, which creates blah results, we get to be in love. Love operates on one of the highest frequencies. Have you ever been so madly in love and the world looks and feels so different, right? Like, think about a time that you were just ridiculously madly in love, whether it be with your business, yourself, another person, an idea that you had. Like, there's lots of levels of love, okay? Different levels of love. But like, pinpoint a time in your life that you've been so madly in love. It is actually really hard for you to be on your blah ladder, right? You could have somebody screaming in your face, but when you're so in love, you're like, I don't even care. Bye, right? Maybe someone nasty on social media says something to you, you're like, oh, block and goodbye. Bye-bye, right? I'm just so in love, I don't even care, right? It's the biggest, most powerful shield, and it operates on the highest frequency. Guess what else does? Money. So love is so powerful. And so when we can stop and look at what we have right now, everything, when we can look at it and be so madly in love with it, it creates so much more of what we desire. You immediately go on the wealthy ladder, on the highest level of the wealthy ladder. And it's almost like when you play like chutes and ladders and you're just like, zoop, right? This is the fast pass. Love is the fast pass to everything that you desire. And again, it's okay. It's more than okay to love where you're at and want more and want to be better, right? So it's a both and. There's duality here, but we can't be in lack and want more. You're already at a deficit. We get to be careful. Well, when I lose 10 pounds, then I'll love myself. No, you love yourself right now. Go watch Lizzo on TikTok or her videos. That woman loves herself more than I love myself. Like, she is such an icon for body positivity. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about, Lizzo is a singer. If you look her up, she's amazing, huge body positivity. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at what part of your life and your business are you not in love with. Okay. So I want you to take 5 minutes to reflect on that. Okay. What part of your life and or your business are you not in love with? Okay. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to just have a moment to breathe, to really think about this, because it's that important. Okay. And I'll set a timer so we're like true to time. Okay. And I'm going to mute myself here. Okay. And if and when you want to share, put it in the chat. Okay. I'm just going to go check on my baby as you do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, he's going to steal the show. Now it's going to be hard to keep you focused. Can you say hi to everyone? Can you blow him kisses? Go. Look at that love that you're getting. Yeah, so good.
Say hi.
He's gonna break some hearts. He's gonna break some hearts, but just not mine. All right, cool. All right, back to trying to focus here. Okay, let's see what we've got in the chat. Okay, not in love fully with knowing how to promote my business. Okay, for me, it is the current level of income and navigating hubby not being on board with me, doing away trips for learning and growing. Although the income is changing big time and has over the last 4 days. Yes, I love that. So good. Not in love with my lack of discipline and organization and planning out content for making on top of making time for actually products. Fear of people saying no to mid to high ticket. Okay. Look at the adorable girl. Yes. All right. Not in love with debt and messy house. Okay. Huge. All right. So if we think about the belief percentage, I'm going to move this up here. Okay. So if we think about the belief percentage, what would it feel like if this boulder was not in your way? So I just want you to like visualize that, just like poof, this boulder is not in your way. Like for some reason, it just changed really fast. What does that feel like? I want you to feel it in your body. Okay. I want you to feel it in your body. And then tell me in the chat, what does it feel like in your body when I say that big boulder is gone? What does it feel like in your body? Freedom, light, expansive, free, lighter. I love that. Hopeful. Okay. I would jump around 10% at least before I knew my health. I love that. Huge. Okay. Lighter, happier. All right, then that is very loud. Okay. All right. So here is a really cool hack. Okay. I'm going to come over here. So whatever word that you said, I want you to write it on a big piece of paper. Okay. Like, let me get a big piece of paper over here. So we're going to write down the word confident. Okay. But you write down whatever word feeling you had. Pick one to start with so we don't overwhelm your brain, but you can do this again and again. This is very duplicatable, okay? So I'm going to pick confident, okay? So we're not going to worry about feeling this way with the boulder, okay? Just hang with me for a second. However, we're going to see where we can feel this way in other aspects of your life and your business, okay? So if you wanted to feel confident with marketing your business, we're not going to worry about that right now because it's so big, it's so overwhelming, and it wouldn't be a barrier if it didn't stop you, right? Like there's things that come natural to you that other people have barriers around. And so we're not going to worry about your big barrier because it's going to feel so hard to move it versus us taking the easy way. Who wants the easy way around this barrier? Yes, drop a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, please. All right, we got some yeses. So what you get to think about is, okay, outside of the barrier, outside of the boulder, right? How can I feel my most confident self? So I'm just going to like pretend I'm doing the exercise with you. So I'm not going to worry about marketing the business because that's the barrier. Okay. So we're not going to worry about that. So that's just like X'd through. Okay. I'm going to draw like a line through it. But we can think about where else can we create the feeling of feeling confident. Okay. So maybe for me in this scenario, it would be putting on a cute outfit. Cute outfit. I would feel so much more confident with a cute outfit. Then maybe we think about, oh, my schedule. If I could feel so dialed in about my schedule, it would make me feel so on top of it, so confident. Okay. So you're getting a really clear list of where else this is showing up for you. And this can be the path of least resistance that can really help. Maybe your home is really messy right now. And you're like, I would just love to feel so good in my home and so confident in like my cleaning schedule, for example. Okay. So again, we haven't addressed the big boulder yet, but here's the cool part. How we do most things is how we do most things. So right now, okay, right now, the boulder feels so big because it's a way of being, okay? It's actually not you being confident in your marketing. It's your way of being that's spilling over to so many other categories of your life and your business that the biggest thing that we can pinpoint is I don't feel confident in marketing my business. So whatever you can pinpoint is probably the biggest piece of the boulder. Okay. So if you looked at like a big boulder, okay, and there was like little, like other pebbles that were like breaking it up. My drawing is just so beautiful. Okay. So like imagine a boulder and it's like filled with little pebbles and rocks, but then there still is like one big boulder. Okay, sir. Okay. So the marketing, the business is probably right here. Okay. But then all of these other little ones are all the other things that we can do. So it's going to be easier for your brain to focus on those things. This is what we start to do in 15-minute sprints. Okay. So we start to focus on these little things that we can do to make the boulder smaller and smaller and smaller. You become more confident in those smaller 15-minute sprints. So by the time we actually do go to address the marketing, the business in this example, you're a whole different you. You're like, why did I make this such a big deal before? This actually is not a big deal. This is the easy button to any and every obstacle. It's kind of like reverse psychology. You're gonna not pay attention to the big thing, and you're gonna pay attention to all of these other things, and then the big boulder is gonna get kind of jealous, and it's gonna be like, I want your attention. You're gonna be like, okay, fine, but you got to play nicely, right? And then you knock it down. You knock it down. So if debt currently feels like your big boulder, it's not that I want you to ignore it, right? But where else do you have debt? Do you have sleep debt? Do you have laundry debt? Are you avoiding conversations? All of these things are debt. It's your way of being that is not truly you, right? But these boulders become bigger and bigger and bigger over time that they feel so daunting and so big. But guess what? After we clear the boulder, the blessings flood in. They flood in. And the coolest part about this process of you knocking down piece by piece of the boulders is you become a better version of yourself. By the time the blessings flood in, you're ready. You're ready for them. You'll be able to hold them. You'll be able to nurture them. You'll be able to then say, what's next? You really will be unstoppable. Anything that you put your mind to, you can make happen. So the biggest thing that I want for you in this session, if you watch today's lesson in Wealthy Month, is what do you want? Because this big boulder, you could knock down this weekend. You could get it to be the smallest little pebble. If your life depended on it, you could, in 15-minute sprints over the next few days, you could knock it down. And that is your homework. I don't care what's going on in your calendar, you can still do it. I'm running a marathon on Sunday, and I'm already strategically thinking about how can I maximize that run, and I'm scheduling social media posts. So while I'm running, there will be a mini launch happening because that's what wealthy me would do, right? She's already thinking ahead. Wealth loves proactive energy. Our presenting sponsor for Wealthy Mama Movement, I met up with her this morning because I was like, I want to wear your logo while I run. I'm going to be passing thousands of people. And she's like, really? Yes. You said yes to us. Like, I want to do something really special. Like, this feels really good to me. And so this is who I am. This is wealthy me. And every single day, I become more comfortable and so in love with this version of myself that the blessings just keep flooding in and flooding in. And I feel so ready. I'm not even nervous for Sunday. And I told my husband, I'm like, I'm about to run 26.2 miles. That's not normal, but I feel normal. And he's like, but you've been preparing. Every boulder in training, I've knocked down. I feel so ready as if it's just a normal day. And that's actually a really good thing. When things feel so normal, as odd as running 26.2 miles, bring millions of dollars to me. I'm ready. I am so ready. I'm ready to bless so many people as if it's so normal. But yet it's actually not, right? Like, it's kind of a little bit of a mind F where you're like, okay, I know that this isn't normal, but it feels normal. And I know that's good. So we're just going to allow it to be that way. So what crazy cool things do you want in the next 365 days? Because this is key. This motivates you to knock down every single boulder. If you lived the most ridiculous, outlandish, wealthiest, happiest life where people are annoyed by it, they're like, shit, like, what are you doing? Like, what Kool-Aid are you drinking? And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just being me, right? Like, I'm just being me, loving my life, all the things. What if it was just okay for you to do that? Like, more than okay. What if you gave yourself permission to create the most crazy, ridiculous, wealthiest year? And again, you're not worried about the how. Your job is to dream. Your job is to knock down all the boulders, the barriers, to clear the way so the blessings can actually come in. Your job is to prepare for the blessings. You don't have to know the how. I don't want you to build a wealthy year plan based on like, oh, but this is what's in my bank account and this is the energy that I have. We're in lack. You can create more energy. You can create more money. You can even create more time. You can even manipulate time by having people to support you, by having systems to support you, by having offers that sell without you having to physically be anywhere or do anything. I think it's the coolest thing that our boutique, like the products ship without me touching them. Like, it is the most bizarre thing to me, but the coolest thing at the same time. I'm like, I've been working too hard for too long. Like, no more. Like, what if it just could be so easy, right? Like, what if it could just be so easy and so fun and you just live the best life ever? But again, I can't want this more than you for yourself. Like, I want this for me. Like, I'm pumped up. I am ready to go for me and equally for you. But I need you to beat my energy for yourself. Not like we're not in competition, but like I'm raising my standards for you. I need you to do the same. So that way we're energy partners and we're doing it together, right? Like, I need that from you. It's not even like well, like, could you please with sugar on top? It's like a no. If you are investing in personal growth, we get to grow. Or why are we here? Right? I'm not here to feed your blah excuses. I'm here to help you grow. So I've got to make sure you're not on the blah ladder, right? Or it's not going to, like, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. So what I need from you is to be a maniac on a mission this weekend. A maniac on a mission. Anytime you catch yourself in blah energy, you've got to shift. You've got to demand excellence from yourself and say, okay, like, nope, not today, Satan, not today. There's a new sheriff in town. And there could be some tug of war because you've been a certain way for a certain period of time. And sometimes we don't even know it. But where you're wanting to go is going to require a more disciplined you. And it doesn't just magically happen. You decide, and then you keep deciding, and you keep getting better and better and better. And if we keep staying on the blah ladder, we're going to keep creating blah results. The minute we decide to be on our wealthy ladder and stay on our wealthy ladder and continue to climb our wealthy ladder, it is literally inevitable that you will be super successful. Think about it. Healthy habits create a healthy life over time when you do them long enough. The same is true about wealthy habits. Wealthy habits, which are those 15-minute sprints, right? We can accomplish so much in 15 minutes. And every 15-minute sprint anchors in it being normal for you without it being alarming. If I told you to be a certain way forever, typically, just want to make sure that nothing's happening back there. Typically, it's too much, right? When we say always or forever or never, it's too much too fast. But if I can say, can you do some steps for 15 minutes and you're like, yeah, I can do that, right? If I say, can you go think about an offer that you would love to create for 15 minutes? Yeah, I could do that, right? It's the path of least resistance. Doing something for 15 minutes is far better than thinking about something for 15 hours. Truly. And it keeps stacking. These are the 15-minute sprints are like deposits into your bank account. Okay. So if there was a job offering, okay, just kind of play with me for a second. If there was a job offering and the job listing said 15-minute sprints and we'll pay you $50,000 for each 15-minute sprint, would you apply for that job? Every 15 minutes that you do something that is in alignment with you, right? But it paid $50,000 or it paid $100,000. Like, it's enough to get your attention where you're like, oh, that's worth the squeeze, right? That's worth any resistance. That's worth anything that I've got to like, any hoops that I have to jump through, right? So when your dream life is more desirable than your current reality, it creates that type of energy. You've got to become so obsessed and so in love with not only where you're currently at, but more importantly, we need more excitement of where you're going. We need more passion for where you're going. This will help move every barrier, every boulder. When you're so in love and obsessed and excited and determined for where you're going, rejection becomes like, right? Any boulder or any hiccup, it's that love energy. You're like, oh, okay. You're so in love with who you're becoming, where you're going, that any hiccup, any boulder, any challenge doesn't feel so bad. So lack of clarity could be stopping you. If we don't know where we're going, then you've got some work to do. You've got some soul searching to do. We don't need to know how we're going to get there, but we do need to know, where do you desire to go? If you told me that, like, if I get in your passenger seat, because you're the driver, and you say we're going to Florida, that looks different than if we're going to California, right? You need, as the driver, you have to have the clarity of, where are we trying to go? What's the big desire that you're having? Not from a business perspective, because there's a lot of things that you could do or sell, right? And that could change over time. It probably will. But what are you trying to go toward? What's the big thing that you're like, oh my gosh, this would literally be the coolest thing? And it should be big. It should be so big that you have to become the best version of yourself, right? You have to grow into your dreams. We should not be downgrading our dreams to fit our current reality. We should be upgrading us to grow into our dreams. So for me, it's 1 million moms, helping support 1 million moms. I want to have a list, even if I don't know them individually, but I want to know that we have impacted 1 million moms. Can you believe the amount of communities that would be transformed when women become the best, moms become the best version of themselves? Like, I'm open to other people and accomplishments, but for me, it's the one dream that I've got to become a better version of myself. I have to grow so much. I've got to expand so much for that to become inevitable. And I'm so down for that because it's so expansive. That's what I'm looking for. It should make you like your heartbeat, right? It should be that big. And for me, you okay? I've done a money goal and it doesn't work for me. So I've done like $1 million. What I have realized, my soul is here to give. It's naturally who I am. It doesn't surprise me. I started a nonprofit at 16 when people thought I was crazy. It literally, it is my soul's purpose to give. And it is so natural for me. It feels so good for me. And so authentically, my big, expansive, mission-driven goal has to be giving. And I've finally realized that when I've gone for like big money goals, the money's inevitable. It will happen. It'll just happen. When I have more fun, when I give, everything takes care of itself. It really does. And I keep reminding myself of that. I don't have to be in full control. I have to focus on giving more than I've ever gave before, which is why you're here, truly. I'm not asking anything from you but to show up. And I'm so excited about it. I'm not worried about it. There's no sales pitch. There's no slide deck trying to like be sneaky here. I'm just ready to pour into you, and I know everything will take care of itself because it always does. My soul's purpose is to be here to give and radically give. It's just like when Steve Jobs was here, he had a big soul's purpose. Every single person has a big soul's purpose, and everyone's is different. And they're all beautiful and amazing. How you can really start to realize what yours is who are you before the world tells you who to be? What do you desire when no one else has an opinion? Success leaves clues, okay? It will continue to evolve as you go through this process, but the big things that I need from you this weekend, okay, before we meet back on Monday, is what I need from you is to 15-minute sprint it up as much as you can around that boulder, okay? I'm going to have you report in on Monday on how did it go. We've got to have a progress report, okay? And I want you to raise your standards for yourself. We can get so creative with time and energy. It's so cool when we try. Don't give up too quickly, okay? Don't give up too quickly. And we'll really work together to move forward. So that's big homework piece number one. And two is I want you to think about that soul purpose, okay? What do you feel like you're here to do? Can you imagine who you'll become as you do that? Like, how rewarding is that? And in 15-minute sprints, you will grow in to who you're supposed to be, what your soul is supposed to do here. And it is our duty and our obligation to do that. And everyone's looks different, and it's not a competition. So I want you to sit with that, okay, and get as much clarity as you can. And those are going to be the two pieces that I need on Monday. And I'm going to have you literally, I want to hear your voice. I want to hear it on Monday, okay? So come prepared. That's your homework, whether you're watching live or the replay right now, and do your best. That's all I ask from you. Like, you don't have to have it all flushed out, but give it your best shot, okay? And you know your best shot. Like, in your heart of hearts, you're like, I gave it my best. If it's kind of like, oh, I kind of did, then we did, like, again, raise our standards, okay? I want to get that belief percentage even above 100%. And I'll leave you with this. Sometimes when we are increasing our belief percentage, it's going to come from conflict, okay? I have grown so much in conflict. It gets your attention, okay? So let's not look at conflict as a bad thing. And let's look at it as like, oh my gosh, this just showed me a shadow, or this just showed me something I get to work on, or I'm really proud of myself of how I handled that situation, right? So everything is wanting to help you win. Every situation is here to help you win. Every situation is here to help you learn. And every situation is really striving to guide you to that soul purpose. It's when we're trying to be in full control that sometimes creates some friction, because it like the energy can't do what it needs to do to guide you in the direction, and then you like kind of like when you're going off script, right? It's like driving without a GPS to a destination you've never been at. I don't think I could get there, right? So your sole purpose is the GPS, okay? And I don't know about you, but there's been times where I don't listen to my GPS because I think I know better. And I'm like, oh, I should have listened. I should have listened. So you're the driver, you're in control, but the GPS is your sole purpose. It's really striving to guide you. And we just get to like take a deep breath and do our best to listen to what it's trying to do. Left, right, straight, or like what's happening. Okay. So that's your mission over the weekend. 15-minute sprint it up. And I can't wait to hear a full report after I run 26.2 miles. I'm with you on Monday. Okay. Good thing I can sit down, but you're meant for big things. You have the time, you have the resources, you have the energy, you have the effort, and it will just keep getting better and better for you when you decide. So I love you so much. I'll see you back on Monday, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye, guys.